So hello everybody and welcome back to another Wizard Sleeve episode. This camera isn't quite right. I'm going to adjust it slightly. There we go. Just right. Perfect shot. So guys, what are we going to be looking at today on the Wizard Sleeve? Well, I'm going to continue looking at what I was doing with the flesh golems. I threw some paint at them. I did some experimentation with some flesh tones and various other bits and bobs, and this is how they turned out. Which way do they go? That was I had to number them. There we go. 1, 2, and 3, so they actually rank up somewhat because they just didn't want to do it. However, I have come to a massive flaw in this basing plan, as I will tell you guys in just a little bit. This is what they came out as. I think they came out alright. This is for someone who doesn't paint flesh a lot of the time. I tried to go for a very kind of mottled kind of flesh tone, so we got some very mouldy flesh with some pink and some like beigey type flesh as well. Again, I'm not overly sold on this colour scheme, and these guys probably will end up getting another paint job later in life, just because I want to learn how to do like zombie flesh even though they're not really supposed to be zombies, they're flesh golems, so technically they're part living, but they're also technically classed as undead. Now with these ones, I tried to follow the steps from, is it Duncan that does the Warhammer painting videos on the Warhammer YouTube channel? I tried to follow those instructions, and it just didn't turn out too well. This is basically a grey base coat with a flesh colour over that, then a Athonian camo shade wash to kind of make it look a little bit mouldy, and then I dry brushed some more of the flesh colour over the top. However, the Athonian camo shade kind of came through still after I dry brushed it, and it was just too kind of yellowy. They looked too jaundicey. So what I had to do, I had to go over and mix up like quite a pink skin, like an overly pink skin tone, like a rather unnatural one that you wouldn't see in real life, and overbrush those a little bit with them. And they turned out okay. They kind of have like a nice little mix of rotting and like kind of putrefying flesh and kind of normal flesh, which is kind of alright, I guess, but I'm still not exactly happy on them, but they'll do right now for tabletop standard. With the, I wanted them to, again, to break them up. It was a bit of a challenge because I didn't know what to do, but then I had a lot of these like muscle fibres that I put around their like necks and shoulders, so I decided, I know, I'll do those like raw, like freshly bled, like they've been freshly stapled out there to kind of like hold these flesh golem constructs together, and they turned out alright. And then I did a bit of work on the fists, because I imagine these guys as just like freaking running in and just crushing stuff with their massive hands, and so I wanted their fists to be all different shades of bloody, so I went for like a much darker blood to like represent like a dried on kind of like crusty blood mixed with some fresh blood. That's why it's slightly glossy. But they turned out okay, and I'm quite happy with how they painted up for something that was a complete random conversion, you know. Something that was completely just off the chain that I didn't even intend to do. They look pretty good. However, I do have a slight problem, and it is with the base size. So a regiment and a horde of these is actually on different size bases. I used the bases that came with these guys. However, I've never actually had a set of these guys with the proper bases before until now. So I used them, and I'm going to be proxying these guys as zombie trolls. However, zombie trolls come on bases, and I'll show you in a second, that are this size here. So these are 40mm bases, these are 50mm bases. You can see where I have a problem now. I don't know what to do. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to keep just these 3 bases just for purely painting stuff on, especially for the thematic stuff, because ultimately I want to play about with magnets and stuff, and these really thin little bases, they don't allow me any kind of freedom to put magnets in. So what I'm going to have to do, guys, and you long-time subscribers will know how much I hate these square bases, because these are the only real bases that are obviously a square, that are the right size, pretty much. Let me just double-check. This is where I find out that the GW bases are slightly bigger. No, by the looks of it, they are pretty much perfect in regards to the size. But the advantage of these GW square bases, cold shiver then, is the fact that because they're quite thick, and they have that underneath. I can actually mess about with this underneath and bevel it out and route it out and stuff, and actually hide magnets underneath there, which will go with my multi-basing idea. So guys, you're going to have to stay tuned for that. I'm probably going to do a whole separate video in regards to the idea of the multi-base with those. Yeah, so those are the flesh golems, and I thought to myself, well, you know, using them as zombie trolls, a regiment is good, of 3, however, a horde is even better. So what I decided to do was make some more different types of constructs, though. So, whereas we've got these guys, which are like the big hulking brutes, I kind of wanted to make some different designs. So I made these type guys. Now, these are still very well in production. I'm going to finish these off today, but I wanted like a different overall body shape. So we're going to move Mongo out of the way there. That is his name now and forever. I christen thee Mongo. He has been christened. But yes, so I decided to come out with these guys. Really mad looking. I've not done any conversions for a while, guys. Like, for a long, long while, and my skills really have suffered because I've not kept them too sharp. So what I decided, so the first one that I made was this guy here. Now these, the bodies of these guys, sorry, I had a bit of a yawn, it's early in the morning for me at the moment. The body of these was a river troll. I remember I had a bunch of river trolls from Warhammer Fantasy that I had lying around that I was going to use for Nurgle Spawn, but I really didn't like the look of them. Like, when I'd made them, and like I got a wash on them, and then I was like, I really don't like these. They're going into a drawer forever. And then I found a use for them, so I've gone for this kind of construct. Now, I was recently watching a bunch of stuff online about Resident Evil, and I remembered back to Resident Evil Code Veronica how I really liked the Bandersnatch enemies, which basically have one tiny little stump for an arm, and then they have one huge gigantic arm, so I kind of modelled them after that. I wanted to kind of go for like a bit more of a stunty appearance, but at the same time not compromise any of the height or any of the bulkiness. It sounds really weird to say, but I think I achieved that with the height of them. So this guy's got a giant's foot, which looks really good. Looks really awesome and oversized, and he's going to paint up really well. And then I gave him a peg leg. Well, he got a tripod leg. He's got 3 pegs in his peg leg, which looks awesome. I wanted these guys to maybe be a little bit, perhaps, more intelligent. So these guys like wielding weapons. So I've got this big old knife here, and the head is like a ghoul head, just to make him look a little bit more sinister. And then his arm is just a collection of blades and swords that I randomly found in my bits box. We've got a really old skeleton sword, and the skeletons are on this weird white plastic, if you remember back to then. There's a bunch of like stuff on the back of his hand, but it's fallen out, which I'm a bit gutted at. So I'm going to have to find all that and glue it back in, just to make the back of the hand look a little bit more weaponised. But he's looking pretty cool. He's pretty much done. Got a few little touch-ups to do. My green stuff went really funny. It wasn't as easy as doing it on the other ones. I think it's because I didn't have a base to hold on to with these guys. So that's probably why I had there's a lot more thumbprints in this one. But then we got this one here. So I kind of like mirrored this guy, but I wanted 2 peg legs because I thought the peg legs are really awesome. And it reminded me of that weird thing in Lord of the Rings, the Hobbit trilogy, which is on like, it's got like 2 peg legs, like 2 little stumpy peg legs, and it's got like, it runs about on like, it has like 2 hooks for hands. It just looks really, really awesome. So I was like, I'll try and emulate that. I've got some more green stuff work to do down here on his lower section, and we've also got a bit of a club going on here. Let's make him look a bit more brutish, and again, lots of staples and stuff holding the flesh on and things like that. Gonna look really, really cool. So I'm gonna have 5 of these flesh golems in total. Now, the rule of Mantic is you have, for a horde, which is 6, you basically need half plus 1, so I need 4. Now I've got 5, but what I was thinking of having like a really, really cool necromancer on the base as well, just as a bit of unit filler, but just to look awesome as well. So guys, this is where I need a bit of help. I've been looking around for like necromancer models and stuff like that for a while, and I can't seem to find any really ultimately badass necromancers. So you guys watching, the viewers, my subscribers, my friends, you guys have a cool little a challenge ahead of you. I want you guys to go out and post links in the doobly-doo, or somehow post pictures, or go on my Facebook page and post pictures of the most badass necromancer models you can find. And so I will eventually get one and basically put him on the base, and he'll look really, really awesome. I have one necromancer knocking around somewhere. He's the old one with the crazy moon-looking hat, but I can't remember where the bloody hell I've put him, which is really annoying me. So I'm going to have to buy another one. But yeah, guys, so your mission is find me cool necromancers that I can buy and that I can use for a unit filler for these flesh golem troll stand-ins. Because, yeah, I've looked and I can't find any ones that I like the look of. But you guys might be able to come up with some better ideas than me. But anyway, guys, that's it for now. So, thanks for this bit of a short episode. We only really looked at one thing, but there is loads more stuff coming. I promise you this, guys. But I'm going to have to love you and leave you. So, thank you for all. As always, don't forget to subscribe. It's the first time watching this channel. Don't forget to like and favourite as well. Don't forget to share, guys. Sharing is so important. I would say shares at the moment is more important than likes, just because it helps the channel get out there and helps the channel grow. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. Don't forget to check out the Facebook page. Link is in the doobly-doo down below. And I'll see you guys again in the next video. So, see you now, and goodbye.